So those of you who are newbies, I can see a few people are newbies on this call. Good evening, I'm Dawn Thompson, and welcome to the Truth Tribe, where we discuss the truths of the universe, what is going down, and it is not my truth, it is not always your truth, it's just truth, and that truth is something you will either vibrate at or not. This may be a story that works for you, and this may be not an energy that has nothing to do with you, and if it doesn't, just turn it off. There is no right and wrong. Everything is perfect exactly when we show up for it. So tonight there is one topic that I kind of cut in two, which was unlearning is unnerving. And so when that topic came up, I definitely, as I told you, go on the grid. I send love down to you. I ask my guides. I'm in higher dimension meditating, and I want to know what's going on right now with all this chaos. And it was more so just less the chaos and more so just why is this chaos happening? Like, why are we in this storm that doesn't seem to be letting up? Okay. And so unlearning is what's ending. That's what I got. Unlearning what is ending. And I thought about it a lot, and I thought, no kidding, right? Aren't we totally having to unlearn everything that's happening, like everything that's ending? It's like, but that's what I know, but that's what I know, but that's, and so it's been really rough on people. And so typically I start these calls with a planet, but tonight we're not going to do planets in that sense, only because I shared all the retrogrades and the moons with you last week, and we're still in a deep karmic review. Karmic review meaning all the past is coming up and saying, do you like it or not? You're going to get rid of it, you're going to keep it. It's that simple. It's not really any more masterful than that. It's just, are you going to be stubborn or are you not going to be stubborn? And it's kind of, some of us are stubborn. I tend to fall into that category, and some of us are not, right? And so I want to focus on that karmic review, because institutions right now are crashing, and it's creating crazy fear that's going to either dissolve to, it's going to start dissolving, right? And it's going to move from contentment, from like dissolving of fear to contentment of choice. You're going to be so content that you can pick. The challenge is that we've been programmed for so long not to pick what you want, and that there is only this option, that we don't know how to navigate, right? And so there's this intense fear and that's happening, that's swirling around the entire planet. Again, this is a planet, guys. This, every time I'm talking about the universal truth tribe, I'm talking about the universe. The whole planet is going through this fear-based energy, right? And so the planets are basically helping us start anew, right? They're restarting new. That's what they're doing. And so basically what the planets are doing is what's ending is from Earth's energy is expanding. Okay, so it's kind of like an earthquake for the whole planet. Like the whole planet is shaking everything up, and it's making things uncomfortable. And guess what? When people get uncomfortable, they don't like it. So if you're feeling unnerved, and I mean this across the board, and again, I am not mentioning any of this because I don't care. I'm just giving you the topics, right? But if you're feeling unnerved by any institution, TV, government, medicine, education, corporate, and because you're questioning that they're currently feeling like unstable, it's causing you to question the validity, and it's pushing open doors to alternatives. That's it. It's pushing you out the door to alternatives. Now, if you don't see it, tonight's your prep. I'm prepping you for it, because that's what's happening. Nothing more. It's just a huge planet earthquake shaking everybody up and go, that doesn't work anymore. Now let's restart. Okay. So this is going to take years again. So as I have these conversations with you, I don't want you guys to be like, well, it didn't happen tomorrow, Dawn. This is taking years, but the faster that your eyes are open personally, the less fear you're going to have and the more joy you're going to have in this new life, this new world, this new environment, this new planet. All right. And so what you can do at this time is take care of you. And I harp on you guys every session. But this time it's for you to look outside the boxes, shall I call them, or institutions, but I'll call them boxes. If they weren't there for you right now, where do you need to grow more heart faith instead of head faith? Because our heads up, they all got programmed for a long time, and our hearts forgot to go, but what do I want? What do I love? What's important for me? What's valuable? Okay. And so This planet, you guys, has been on this masculine vibration, masculinity, okay, a masculine vibration for thousands of years. And now, through the last several hundred years, it started raising its consciousness to a more feminine energy to bring balance. Is one better than the earth? Does it, or the other? No, it's not. And it doesn't mean that we're gonna be asked to go soft and go all feminine, because that's not happening either. It's not one is the opposite in order to become more better than the other. It's not that. It's becoming more yin because we first need to balance out the yang. And so the yang is the masculine, the yin is the feminine. And pretty soon we need both to start flowing. We need them to continuously rule. Okay. And so when the feminine showed up, everybody got confused, like, well, is it this or that? And yin is equally as important as yang, right? Yin is the feminine, yang is the masculine. You all know the yin yang symbol, right? So it's not up for debate or option which is better. It's just nature. All right. So think of it from that way. So the other option you can look at is it's the ocean tide that's happening on our planet as well. Okay. So an example would be you don't get the ebb and flow of the ocean. You don't get in without out. You don't get up without down, but you have to have them both. Okay. So the masculine or the masculinity is, thanks, Jamie. It takes aggressive assertion, would be masculine, right? The yang, to stand in your power to protect your need to nurture yourself, which would be the soft feminine and gentleness. You need both, right? We need both. You can't just be an aggressive badass, which is what I teach you all to be, but you also have to have the other, okay? And so I want to read you a little excerpt out of this crafty little book. I don't know who wrote it. Her name's Dawn Thompson. Anyway, it's my favorite part of the book, which is funny because the whole book, I actually love this book. It's my last book that I wrote, Balls, Building Balanced Relationships. But I'm just going to read the first 2 pages of the introduction. This will kind of explain to you this masculine feminine, okay? So it says balls. When you hear the word, what comes to mind? Get a pair, grow some, where are yours? You lost yours, you don't have any. Who has yours? There are many connotations for the word balls, but when you explore these various meanings, you probably start with the reference to testicles. Testicles produce the male hormone testosterone, and one would assume bigger balls, more testosterone. This isn't true, but it's a comical reference. Testosterone is a masculine hormone in men and women that enhances strength, aggression, and ultimately the capacity to create life. Testicles produce quantities of testosterone that influence such male behaviors as strength and vitality. And because males were designed to impregnate females and to use their muscles to find food, to nurture mothers and babies, therefore, testosterone is needed to build and maintain muscle. Now, historically, it has been associated with the term get some balls when referring to power. Although women have less testosterone in their bodies, they still need it to exhibit their power. I've heard women say to other women, grow some balls just as much. When we lack strength and power, we try to learn how to increase it. Getting back our balls is what we're ultimately trying to do. We're seeking to find our strength to overcome the challenges confronting us. This book is meant to show you a different point of view regarding your power. You can see the various balls that you juggle in your life, how much power you give or don't give to them, are even aware of which balls that you juggle. Are you aware of what needs more strength in your life? Are you aware of what has become an illusion? I'm going to call those your boxes, right? Yet this illusion consumes all of your energy and your power. So what do you do with the balls in your life? How are balls related to your life? Whether you're a man or a woman, your life will expand according to the level of your self-awareness. This journey will guide you to greater self-awareness and ultimate power within. Okay, I shared that with you because we keep playing this whole masculine, feminine, who's better, who's worse, and it's pissing me off because it's in all of you. It's in your soul, you guys. It's yin and yang is inside of each and every one of you. And there are women sometimes when we got to be badasses, strong for ourselves. And then there are times when you have to be soft and gentle. Men do the same thing when they've got to be strong and capable. And yet we are beating down each other when then the man decides he needs to be soft and gentle to the women or the men in his life who need some consoling or understanding. And we are not opening our mindsets because we've been controlled. All right. So why is this happening? Again, go get the book. It's expanded and keeps going about those topics, not just about your balls. So to help you all wake up to your sovereign state of being, shall I say it? And sovereign means you having the supreme power over you, your sovereign state, your sovereign power, your you-ness. Okay. And so you're all independent with yin and yang inside of you. And no matter what you try to change or mask, it's still there in here. So let's consider why so many are so miserable right now. Okay. When I give you that point of view, you've all been told you can be anything you want, which is totally true, right? You can heal anything. You can learn all things. You can overcome all things. You can achieve greatness in any domain. I don't care what domain you're here on this call. Okay. So as long as you don't ask questions, though, in the old world, that's what's crashing right now. The boxes are crashing. As long as you don't ask questions of why there's no other options, that's why you're all getting frustrated. The universe is infinite. It has no labels. It has no restrictions. It doesn't want to stop you from being the best athlete, the best author, the best, CEO, the best mother, the best father. It doesn't want to stop you. You are stopping you because you're allowing the boxes that we didn't know were controlling us. Okay. And so if you can open your minds tonight, I just want you to open your minds to see that the planet is simply expanding to push you to more options, to push you to open your mind to one more option, 4 more options, so many more options. Okay. And so everything you look at right now that's frustrating you or not frustrating you that you're drawn to is groups of consciousness, groups of health, groups of ill health, groups of scientists, groups of athletes, groups of gardeners, groups of whatever it is. I don't care what community, what side, what anything you belong to, that's just a group of thinkingness, right? So it's called group think consciousness. And so just because someone is a healer doesn't mean they're a good healer. They may not be a good healer, and people who are not drawn to wanting to heal are going to be drawn to the not good healers, non-healing. Those who are great healers, people who truly are obsessed with healing and being better are going to get drawn to the healers that want to heal. It's that simple. It's conscious thinking. Okay. So there's no wrong. Please remember, there is no group of consciousness out there that is wrong. It's just a vibration. And I'm not going to do any of that tonight, but we've gone through this. So if you question the consciousness scale, like what is she talking about? Remember the map of consciousness is on my website on ideserveitnow.com. Just click on tools and go down to the bottom and the map of consciousness is there. You can see the vibrations of where your consciousness might sit with groups. The rest of the people in your group hang out there, okay? And so remember that some vibrations and some consciousness are no longer functioning at a loving place, okay? And so they've just stopped expanding. And the planet, as I've shared with you, has been like this, and it's now gotten bigger and it's expanding, and the grid lines and the vibration is ascending. And so if those energies from the past, those boxes or institutions aren't expanding, they're dropping through the cracks. It doesn't make them wrong. They're just not expanding. Okay. This is constricted thinking, and it has been blocking your connection to oneness. And I'm preparing you all. We're going to oneness. So you can either go fast or you can go super slow, painfully. So I mean, to think of it this way. Will the systems that you know continue to crumble? Yes. Okay. Will much of what you've been taught crumble? Yes. Okay. Will you be disappointed if you don't find alternatives? Yes. Not because you don't want better. That's never the case. You all want more. You all want better. You all want better lives for your families and yourself. It's because you don't want to let go of comfort. It's that simple. Okay. It's uncomfortable in the unknown. And when these boxes or institutions crash and burn to the ground the way you knew it. All right. Doesn't mean they're going away, but the way you knew it, you're kind of in this unknown like territory. Like, well, what the hell do I do now? And the answer is you're in these kind of groups. You're in truth tribes, you're in spiritual enlightenment, you're in reading, you're in learning, you're in podcasting. Learn. That's where we're at. Okay. So if you are sovereign, right? You are in all powerful within yourself. You are in complete power of yourself, whole and expansive. The world that you've known for the last 100 years has been restricting your options, and now it's needing you to open your mind to these closed-minded institutions. And they've been closed-minded. Don't think they haven't. They have. Okay. And so what happened is through the last 20 years, a whole bunch of lighthouses have popped up. So many lighthouses are coming out and learning. For the last 40 years, I've been learning spirituality and intuition and healing. I didn't know. I just thought it was me. I thought I was the only one. But it's becoming easier to shine because of their examples, because then I look for my healers and there were only a couple back. I was just telling my husband this the other night, like there was like only Deepak Chopra in my day. And then now all of a sudden there's so many. And now I'm just like literally like a kid in a candy store learning all these new healers and concepts and where they're going, what they're doing. So it's my happy place, because now everybody's starting to kind of jump on board and not think I'm crazy. And maybe you still do, but that's okay. So the point is that I get it. I get what's happening. I get it's hard to imagine that you've been programmed to accept institutionalization, right, for 50 years. And I want you to think of it this way, right? Institutions you were taught that were good for you are in fact now failing you. This is disappointing. No, it's not. Okay. The spirit and the quantum field have been blocked from the lessons. That's it. They just weren't taught. Whether they didn't know to, whether they didn't want to, whether it wasn't important, whether they just knew that would allow you not to need them. That's what's more important. So the institutions that where you are confined, I want you to think about this, to following and participating in a system that wasn't what you chose, but you were told it's good for you. I want you to think about those boxes, and there are a lot of them, right? And so none is right or wrong, and none of them are going away. They're just going to change. Please understand, nothing is dying. It's just shifting. And most people don't like change. Okay. So institutions that we were confined to follow and participate in, their systems were not what we chose, but we were told they were good for us. And my point is, yes, I call it mental jail. We've all been put in mental jail. Okay. And we willingly accepted all of it, right? But here's my point. You would not willingly accept going to prison. Yet, here's the fascinating piece for me. Jail is one of the least programmed of all institutions to take your mental power away. Why do I say that? Because in jail, for the most part, you can read and learn whatever you choose to program your mind with during those times of solitude. You can personally choose God, you can choose science, you could choose art or literature or quantum physics or nothing, right? As well, but you can choose what your mind is consuming in that space, all right? But we didn't pay attention to, and it's like, it's so crazy to me, because we didn't pay attention to that what we've been willingly accepting as programming in our education, in our medicine, in our government, in our digital screens that were from total strangers. You didn't pick it, they picked it. Yet prisoners pick it. I want that book. I'll take that book. Maybe they have to get their GAED or something, or, maybe some people are struggling, I want to learn, but they have to learn that, but they know they choose to learn it. No one's forcing them to learn it. And here's the piece. Y'all been forced, right? And so it's like we all walked for 50 years in blind faith with no questions asked. I asked. I'm one of those people who asked, right? And so now what's happening is we're all waking up to a decision. Everyone, the whole planet is waking up to decisions. Stay in their jail or walk out to your truth. And that's where we're at right now. And this has been apparent to me my whole life, and I thought it was weird. So I'm really kind of excited right now, because I hated school, and I was it was very challenging for me. And not because I was a poor learner. I'm actually super addicted to learning and education. Okay, so someone's asking me, can I relate the concept I'm discussing with what we're experiencing with the chaos around us to the political divide? Yes. So someone's asking this, okay, the point about the political divide is no different. Okay, so there is no divide. I want you all to understand that the programming is the same thing. And I'm not going to get into this whole what policy showed up, what political showed up. What happens is that when someone finds a way to program the masses so they can get their way, they will. Do they know it willingly? No. Do they know it intentionally? No. It's always the point being is that we start going, well, this works. Okay, keep doing more. Well, this works. They're doing what we want them to do. This works. And so policy starts changing to the point where it's in a control of the masses instead of an enlightenment of, instead of enlightening us to what we can do. And so with politics, same thing. You're watching it crumble on both sides. I will not do policy. People ask me about politics all the time, and I have no desire to discuss it. Why? Because there is no side. You have no side anymore. So those of you on this call, it was a really good question this person's asking is what's happening with both sides is there is no side anymore. What it is because you don't know what to do, you don't know what to look at, you're so questioning everything in your space, it's forcing you to come back home. Home is in your heart. It's forcing us all to go, all right, so if that's not working, how do I crumble what used to work forever? So do taxes work? I don't know. Should I question it? Do regulations work? Do I like it when people control me? Most of you, I want you to ask when it comes to politics, do you like being controlled? Because most people will tell you, no, I want the power to choose my health. I want the power to decide my wealth. I want the power to decide who I want to help and donate my extra money to. I have lots of people I would love to help with the extra healing and help. And I'm not a good cook. We've talked about that. But some friends love to cook and they would love to help me. Like we would love to save and give it back to the people we know, which turns into a spider web. And the system is broken. And so when we start looking at that system, health, all of it, it's all connected. So I don't want you to start becoming one about or the other. Okay, one's asking, this is better, cool. So they're asking, is this good versus evil? And I think we need to get on a plane and talk. It's Wayne. Yes, hi Wayne. So anyway, I'm not asking about politics. We're asking, we have good versus evil. So the question is good versus evil. And my answer is I'm asking you all to not look at this as good or evil. I'm asking you to pull out of sides. That's what tonight is about. There are no more sides, okay? Let's look at this from a different perspective. If you don't choose you, someone will choose them, and their side will look really far away from you, which will look like a side because your side will be different, okay? So control and power looks like what it is. And so if I tell you, hey guys, you should come over here and eat some of my organic green grass, my green grass juice. You're gonna be like, that's disgusting. No way, I'm never coming to your side. I don't wanna do it. Hey guys, you should come over here and be a vegan, which I'm totally not. I'm a total, I'm a total keto meat eater, but let's just say that. This is sides. There's no good and evil. I could call the vegans evil for making me eat that nasty shit. And I eat a lot of vegetables, but I would not do that. Right? Because it doesn't make me feel good. Now I have two vegetarian daughters who makes them feel vibrant and amazing. So am I forcing them to come to my side and be an only meat eater? That's the whole point of politics. You'll never win pulling someone to a side, which is why I'm teaching this class tonight. It is going to crumble. So discussing a side is going to be little value to you. There are no sides anymore, so quit looking, okay? So I want you to think about it this way. Me being a kid, okay, going to school. And it's only because I had zero desire to learn if it wasn't something I enjoyed, okay? And so as we've discussed this many times, I aced anatomy and physiology and physics, which aren't easy classes, right? And then when it came to chemistry, geometry, and stats, they were painful to say the least. Not because I wasn't willing, it was just because I was told that they're more valuable. than physics, which I totally disagree. Quantum physics, I think, is the most important class everyone should take. Do you all want to take it? Probably not. So I want you to imagine now, in the world we're living in, of good, evil, right, wrong, good, bad, there is none. I want you all to imagine, those of you who have children, okay? This isn't about a side anymore. This isn't nothing more than neutrality and looking at each person from their blueprint of their soul. Everybody touch your heart and think about your child. If you have a child, I want you to imagine the child that is the artist in this black and white school that has to take geometry, okay, or statistics. I want you to think about the theological child who loves theology. I want you to think about the athletic child who feels forced to learn in a system or institution that doesn't want to light their soul up. Yet that student would be in heaven just snowboarding every day of their life and then going to small amounts of class. You think they would learn faster? I guarantee it, because their soul was on fire. But when they go to these regular schools and these regular institutions and this regular governmental regulations, this regular banking and TV and everything, the system is rigged to make them feel what I felt, unworthy and unimportant. My entire 4-year physiology, kinesiology degree was taught to me in 18 months. 4 years and 18 months, I learned everything. And this is unacceptable, and it should be shocking that it's been accepted for so long. Now, that's just in school. Let's just apply it to every other institution. Medicine is the same. All these boxes, guys, are crumbling. Why? Because our energy is expecting more. I expected more. I expected my kids not to get good grades, just to learn what they needed to and then focus on what they loved, okay? And so when I was in poor health multiple times in my lifetime, mainstream media would always tell me, you're wrong, nothing's wrong with you, right? And clearly it was apparent that something was wrong, right? Actually there was, and they weren't allowed to think out of their boxes. They're not taught that. Doesn't mean they're wrong, nothing wrong with them. They just didn't know. So governments will not be able to continue with the same control as they have either. None of these boxes, I'm going to call them all boxes, so I don't care which box. If you don't like the political box, think about that. If you don't like the medical box, think about that. If you don't like the educational box, you don't like the banking box, the athletic boxes, any of it, okay? So this is no way a political discussion. This is a energetic breaking of the system discussion. And I'm prepping you guys for future expansion. This is a preparation. You can go, oh, I heard it from Dawn. I know it's coming. I'm guaranteeing you all, because the planets don't lie. Energy doesn't lie. And so all the controlled environments were exactly that in the past, controlled. And now, this is the cool news, humans are taking back their control. And so there's an age of Aquarius coming up in about 4 years. And then a generation of Aquarius coming up. Pluto's going to move into Aquarius for 15 years. It's almost there. It's about 4.5 years away. And then the entire planet's going to make a shift, and we're going to go into the age of Aquarius. That's about 30 years from now. So it's very close. It's not 1,000, 2,000 years, which would not be, that was the age of Pisces. Okay. So it's causing us to say, I want my power back. This is why it's happening on a planetary scale. Okay. Yes. And Whitney, thank you. She's reminding me the age of Aquarius is about freedom and autonomy, freedom and flow, one and the other, not one or the other, autonomy, humanitarian. So this is so cool, right? Now, everybody wants to know why. It's not just the planets, it's you, it's vibration, it's you doing all the work, it's you guys opening your minds, trying to access what are the higher realms, how do I get to be less controlled? And we created this chaos. The planet showed up and said, let us help you. Okay. So, think about it from this perspective. Integrative medicine on all levels, on all types of medicine, are now learning how to blend organic and pharmaceutical to heal faster. And it's slowly becoming accepted, right? And so the more that's accepted, the more it expands as well. I have researched so many new up and coming psychologists that are incorporating psychiatry and psychology with meditation, hypnotherapy, past life therapy, shamanism. And again, you got to remember meditation, hypnotherapy, and shamanism are much less lucrative and they have less support for those who want you to believe they don't work because there's no money in it for them. Thus, the boxes or systems that have controlled you to say, no, it doesn't work. And my answer is that's bullshit. It works. And so they give you back your power. And this is against institutional programming. Why do you think the next program is showing up? We are programming you. We're programming your mind. Okay. And so I'm sharing all this because what you're watching is the crumbling of 50 years of broken institutions that have hit their tipping point. If any of you have read The Tipping Point from, I'm having a brain block. The Tipping Point. His name will come to me. He's one of my favorite books. But we're at the tipping point of no return. Okay. And so it's never easy to find out, oh my gosh, what I've learned, is it possible? It's not true. What's possible now if none of that's true anymore for me? And that's hard for some people. For me, it's amazing. It's exciting. How wonderful. We can start picking many options. Okay. And so success is easier when you remove blame for others of why you can't have something. And that's what's happening on the energetic planetary plane. Okay. And so none of these professions are wrong. None of these institutions are wrong. They just weren't ready to ascend when we all decided to open up this earthly energy on the planet. Malcolm Gladwell. Thank you, Whitney. Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. If you haven't read it, it's very good. Please read it. So anyway, none of the institutions are wrong. They weren't ready to ascend. And so their systems are getting broken down so they can rebuild in the new earth, in this new vibration. And that's what's happening. And so we're now here to override head thinking. That's programming. Okay. So we're going to override head thought with heart thought. What does your heart think? That's what I want to know from all of you. What does your heart think? And that is where the simple answers are going to come from. Okay. So one thing I've learned in all this research that I do is when people face death, they express regret for things that they have not completed. Okay. That's the biggest expression. It's not, God, I wish I would have bought that Ferrari. I wish I would have had 4 more houses. I wish I would have, run 5 more marathons or whatever it is that they wished for. It wasn't as much that, it was what they wish they would have completed in relationships or situations or their careers or their karma. And I express it repeatedly about incomplete karma, because what is karma? It's incompletion, right? It's this infinite loop of energy that we play. And when we avoid to complete it, it makes it incomplete. And we are organic beings that are constantly resetting, looking for alignment and homeostasis and neutrality. Okay. And having a kinesiology, physiology background in science, this is the core of our training, right? And so I always ask myself, why the hell did I take that? Why did I get that education? Why did I get that training? Right. And now I get it, right? Because when people would come to us and they would need help with their physical body, and we would look at them from a kinesiology aspect, which is the study of movement, right? We would look at their alignment and we would help them realign so their energy would be less needed and put them in more of an aligned perfection, an alignment that would make their functions and their athleticism or whatever it was function stronger and more powerful with less energy, because they were out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, you have to use more energy to reset and recorrect. And so it's fascinating that that's what the planet's doing. It's pulling us into alignment in a new vibration. Well, you can't get into alignment if you're not willing to see where you're getting pulled. Okay. And so that's a huge piece. When your body is getting pulled, when your mind is getting pulled, you are out of alignment with your truth. Okay. And so when your body gets out of alignment, it will organically autocorrect. Okay. So the opposite side, on the opposite side, just think of it that way, will pull on it in order to keep the alignment so you stay neutral. So it's kind of like institutions are doing the same thing, right? If they don't offer you the relief you desire, you're going to go to somewhere else to find an alternative to neutralize you. It's not working. Okay. So it's the same like if your shoulder's out of alignment, you have shoulder pain. Let's just say you got shoulder pain. This is something I've been having, right? And so your opposing hip might start hurting or your lower back might start hurting. But you haven't injured it. You didn't hurt your hip. You didn't hurt your back, right? Because it's trying to autocorrect and it's pulling the opposite direction so it can start getting you into alignment so you feel more straight. Let's call it straight. I don't know if you're straight or not, but you're trying to get you straightened out so that you feel like you're okay and you don't have to expend as much energy. And that's the whole point. The same as this planet for 1,000 years over this masculine energy has ushered in now this feminine energy to balance it out. And now we're rolling with the masses, right? And so you're going to find the neutrality of by having both. You can't have one or the other. Masculinity is not dead. And it needs to be present to balance out this overly passive and soft energy that we've had for a little bit too long. And so everybody's very upset with all the aggression happening on the planet. I'm like, well, at least we're awake. I mean, I'm not really pleased with it, but we're awake. Okay. And so you have to see energetically what this is showing you. Neither is more or less valuable. Yin and yang, guys. So we are literally watching spirit, God, source energy, balance this planet into organic flow. It's the best way I can give you what is happening. And people want to know why. We need it to crumble. We need the boxes to crumble. And so most people don't want to let go of what they know, right? It's like that. It's that simple. So if you don't want to let go of what you know, yes, we have to return to divine Sophia. Yes, Whitney, we do. So neither is right and wrong. Okay. So I want you to think about this. We're learning right now that you're going to, my amazing Truth Tribe team is learning how to drop can't and decide how to design capable. Drop can't and pull in capable. Okay. Because truth right now, truth in your heart, truth in your soul, your truth, who you are, what you want to be. And you want to be silent and sit in the cave and hide from the masses. And that's your truth. You need to do it. Okay. It's so imperative right now that you guys think about this. So the truth, your truth, is the only one thing that will reveal when you're looking around the world. It's going that people's truths are revealing if they're the can'ts and the capables on the planet. That's how you know. Okay. And neither is right or wrong. So that's my one challenge with what is happening right now is we're judging people. That's right and that's wrong. And that's not true. Not true. It's the can'ts and the capables. Okay. So neither is wrong. It's just revealing the lighthouses that are right now. They're saying, I can shine. I know who I am. I know my truth, with the boats out in the dark. And so that they can find their way to higher dimensions of this lighthouse 40 and 50 energy. Because eventually we're going to get into fourth dimension. We're getting there. And then we're going to be living in a 5D dimension, which is very enlightened and quantum field energy. And that's not something we comprehend because we weren't allowed to learn it in these controlled institutions, which is total bullshit to me because it's what I've been begging for so long. And now I'm like, yay, crumble the schools, let's start new ones and teach our children. Okay. So I want you guys to reveal when it comes to seeing your truth. If you want to see truth about your own self, look at your can'ts and your capables. I am capable of doing anything. Or do you hear yourself using the word can't? I can't do that. I can't go out. I can't walk outside. I can't heal myself. I can't build my immunity. I can't get money. I can't get a job. I can't. You know where you're at. It's time to change it. Okay. And remember, I tell you guys this all the time, your map, review your truth about your map of beliefs, which isn't your astrology map. It's a simple map, your disc map, your Enneagram map, all those personality maps. Find the one that works for you. It's just easy for me to look at your astrology map. And I always think it's weird. Like, why wouldn't you go look at your map? It always baffles me because it's like super simple. Like this simple answer is right there. Your purpose, your weak spots, your blockages, your drama, your relationship challenges. They're sitting there saying, don't do this. Oh, okay. I'll be better. Yeah, don't do that. You'll be great. It's like, nobody wants to look. This is why, because you're so programmed into being safe. Okay. So of the two groups right now being revealed, the can'ts and the capables, there is one spirit, I'm capable energy of everything consciousness, higher consciousness of everything. Okay, that's one consciousness. The can't, the capable consciousness. And then then there's the can't, I need control. I need to be controlled consciousness. Okay. So there's the can't and the controlled consciousnesses. One is awake and one is asleep. It's that simple. And so it's why so many feel out of balance right now, because you're all awake. A lot of people, you're watching them, they're waking up to what you were told was true, and now it's no longer true. And you're like, wait, what? I don't understand. Well, this has always been true. This is what they told me. And you're like, crap, but now it's not true for me anymore. So now what do I do? So some, like me, are waking up and they've questioned this for so long. And I've said, that's not right. There's something not right there's something not right. There's got to be another way. And then some are still in their cocoons, as I talked to you about last week. Okay. So instead of worrying yourselves from this point forward with other people's truths and boxes and doctrines, and I mean big stuff. Okay. I want you to pay attention to your own truth. And it's like your inner volcano exploding, okay, making you run to secure ground. Like, I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. And so your volcano's exploding. You're like, I need to get safe, which it's up to you to look for other ways to fill your heart, which means you need to start looking for alternatives, okay? The alternatives are going to make the change. And it's because health is such a big topic right now, which is why I was bringing it up. I encourage everyone to look at their health astrology. So when I do a health astrology map on people, if you don't have me, and people ask me a lot, like, where do I look? Look at your 12th house, your 9th house, and your 6th house. Your 12th house is mental health. Your 6th house is physical health. And your 9th house is your beliefs. And all three of those will trip you up. Okay. And so they reveal a lot about you, about what you believe and what your health is and how it will be impacted by any environment. Not this, any environment. And they'll help you to grow out of some of this insecurity and fear of what you're being programmed in the head instead of what you've been given in the heart. Because I laugh, my health house has Neptune on my map, okay, on my astrology map. And it represents higher spiritual, emotional healing using the cosmos, okay? And so it can either, I can use the cosmos and spiritual and emotional healing, or I can create confusion and delusion and avoidance. And I do that a lot with my health. I avoid it. I try to override the system because I have a health and nutrition and all this physical degree of energy. So I override and I push it to the point like, crap. Right? So it's very simple. It's a simple answer for me. And so it forces me to address my health and internal beliefs when I'm not well. Okay, so what are my crappy beliefs that are igniting this health issue? Now, for other people, they look in those two areas of their life, it might require you to have more physical activity. Others, it might require you to heal emotional drama. Others, it might require you to, deal with mental challenges or the mentality that you think about life or how you've mentally been programmed, right? New modalities, maybe new way of looking at it. But it's what spirit, the planet is undergoing right now, guys, what spirit has wanted for so long, which is everyone to see non-truth this whole time. And non-truth is control. That's not your truth. You are not meant to be controlled. You are wild, amazing, brilliant, amazing, awesome people. Okay. And it's wanted you to see this non-truths that aren't true for you so vividly that you stop relying solely on these non-truths, these, okay, remember the boxes or the institutions. So you quit trusting the outside boxes or institutions with this irrevocable faith and beyond all doubt, even if they're called doctors or lawyers or mothers or fathers or brothers or BFFs or priests, whoever, okay? Their truth doesn't matter unless it is true in your heart and you can feel it. I cannot be more clean about this. You all need to be okay with this shit of these boxes are crumbling because they're going down. And it's crucial that you go inside and ask yourself, is the answer that they are giving me true for me? Not true for them, because I'm guarantee you it's true for them. They wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't. Does it fill my heart or does it drain my heart? Because I can tell when I just go to a party, if I get cornered by the wrong person, they're draining the life out of me. I need to move. I need to get into a different place, right? You feel that no matter what. I don't care what you're watching, what you're hearing, what you're looking at. So this planet, guys, is manifesting healing to begin living life on a five-dimensional plane of this planet. And if you can open your mind just to the possibility that if you have been taught to not ask questions, and you have, all of you, you've been taught for 50 years to not ask questions, that possibility that is being overturned to unlearn that simple word, questioning. Question everything. And so guys, if you can just be open a little bit to releasing to what you've learned in the past 50 years, you guys are all going to be ahead of the game. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm not telling you you're going to want to let everything go. I'm just telling you to be open. Okay. Not questioning others. That's not what I'm asking you to do. And I'm not asking you to judge them. I'm not telling you that they're right or wrong. I am asking you to question yourself. Is this true for me? When I was in difficult health situations and I'm like, and they're telling me you have to do this, I'm like, no, it's not true for me. I'm not doing that. Well, this works for everybody. It doesn't work for me. I'm not doing it. The answer is no. I will question. I will go find something else. Someone else will help me. And I might have had to find 4 people to help me heal, but they did. So I just need you to remember, it may not be true for them. And if whatever you're wanting your truth to be. And so if not, please leave them alone. If it's not for you, try not to spew your proof because it won't matter to them at all. All right. So every institution that has been a big part of your life, as they are being leveled to a new start right now, okay? They're not going away. And this is what is making people fearful, all right? They're not going away. They are restarting from a new truth. And the new truth is going to come from them crumbling in many ways. So all of them, no one's to blame. And we will not blame people because this is not a blame time. This is an ascension time and we're all getting enlightened lighter, okay? So there's no one to blame, but human consciousness is raising its vibration to love. And that is which is not of love. And like I said, there are doctors who are not loving. There are lawyers, there are, healers, there are coaches, there are CEOs, there are athletes, there are gardeners, there's lots of people out there who are not healthy and in a very negative, heavy, dense space. That doesn't mean they're wrong. They just aren't ascending. But then there are all those doctors and athletes and healers and lawyers and whoever who are rising up. And we have to let them, and that's the vibration you're going to go to. Okay. So consciousness is rising to love, and that's why this is crumbling, because the old systems did not support you loving you. So if you are hell-bent on living your life on the slopes of a mountain, and you're a student and you're an athlete and you want to learn, you will find a new way now because there are new ways. So I think it's pretty freaking amazing that people can start being who they want to be because we've crumbled this control system that stopped us from being all things. Okay. So if you can open your mind, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the rest. So I want you to think now, if you were just taught, just think of it this way. If you were taught to manifest, to meditate, to materialize the law of attraction of your own dreams at 4, you learned immediate healing and how to do it, and to do it, go in the quantum field and do quantum jumping and parallel realities, it would crumble all the unneeded institutions 30 years ago. So guess what's happening right now? Guess what's happening right now? All the 4-year-olds are being taught to meditate and to open their mind, and we're all being taught law of attraction. So we're a little behind the game is all. That's it. It's still happening. Okay. So if you don't address your wounds on fear, on guilt, on shame, on safety and trust, it's going to be hard to let these institutions go because they were keeping you in this bubble of illusioned safety up till now. That's it. I'm safe if I do what everybody keeps telling me to do. I'm safe. I won't, if I do it, they'll think I'm smart, that I won't feel guilty, that I don't have a degree, or I didn't do it the way they said, and I won't have this, or I want to be like, I don't know why snowboarding's coming to me. I really want to go skiing. I hope it snows soon. This is why so many are afraid. Okay. And it saddens me to the core because it's unnecessary. Um, because there's nothing to fear on this earth, and it's growth, and it's beautiful what's coming, and it's going to break you out of all your cocoons of isolation and fly you all into new manifestations. My girls have made fun of me forever for being the weird mom that didn't harp them on grades and didn't care what they got in school and told them to blow off school, and I tried to get them out and make them play hooky, and they were afraid they'd get in trouble for being tardy and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's doing you no good. I want you little artists to go paint the road down the street, or the trees, or the cactus. That's what teaches her. And the other one to learn all this history of healing and the catharsis that she fascinated with, and anatomy books. Funny, loves anatomy books. I do too. So why aren't we harping on our children to go be them in their hearts at 4, as opposed to telling them what some stranger told you is the best thing for them? You all know your children. You know them in your heart. You know them in your soul. You know what they want. Break the system, because I'm guarantee you it's going to break it for you. It's already breaking. Okay. So being is the choice of holding on to, right now, it's holding on to outdated protection, or choosing new protection of personal power by looking for solutions to expand. That's simple. Okay. Heart energy, not head energy. Head energy is focused on what everybody's telling you to do. Heart energy is what you want to do. And it's going to go against what all old paradigms, all old boxes have told you. The last 50 years have been head energy programming. Okay. In institutions. And now we're going back to heart energy and using our heart map. And your heart map has all the paths and all the highways you need to follow. Okay. So the map on your heart is the map of the cosmos, the stars, the planets, the universe. Okay. So that map on your heart is the map of the cosmos at birth. And that map will guide you to everything that you need in this lifetime and complete fulfillment. And it's going to bring you back to this tribal, communal, humanitarian support and love for each other. And this is going to happen because I can watch the stars and the planets, and I can see it happening already. It's just slower than we all like, right? So I'm blessed to share it with you. That's the cool part. All right, I'm going to give you guys some tips, and then if there are any more questions, start throwing them at me now, and I'll go through them as we go. Okay. I'll keep pulling them up. All right, let's see the tips for tonight. We talk about the crumbling of the system is opening up the new earth. Look at it as blessings. So everything that's crumbling, we're going to go, cool. Okay, this is good. This is necessary, so we can find a better way, because the better way is coming. This is there's a more blessed way. There's a more loving, empowered way coming. Okay, cool. Number 2, question everything, and then question that. And then if that doesn't work and that doesn't resonate in your heart, question it again. That's the welcome to Dawn's world. If it didn't work, excuse me, I questioned it again. And if that didn't work, I sucked it up, I pulled it together, and I questioned it again. And I kept going. That's what's going to happen with all of you when you start resonating with questioning yourself. Okay. Number 2, drop can't for capable. You have to drop can't for capable. You're capable of every possible thing you want. I don't care what anyone wants to tell you right now. Turn off every digital, social, TV programming. If it's programming, turn it off, because you can just watch your TV right now. They're programming them how you need to do this and how you need to do that. And if you're a good neighbor, you'll do this for them. How the fuck do they know what I need to do for my neighbor? She needs food. That's what she needs. She doesn't need a damn mask. She just had a baby. She needs a break. That's what she needs, a babysitter. And that's what's starting to frustrate me, because you know what you need. You know what those around you need. And that's what you have to stick with your heart. Okay, excuse the F-bomb, but it irritates me because I want to help so many people. And I'm so sad watching people feel like they have no options. You do. Okay. So you're capable of manifesting, guys, right now. The energy on the planet is super fast. So you're capable of manifesting at record speed. So don't question universe source that is listening to you, because it is. So every word that you think, every thought that you have, everything that you're putting into your brain, if you're putting fear in there, the universe is going to hand you more of that. If you're putting in, get out the hell, get out of my way, I will find a new way. And if you tell me no, I'm going to find a new way. And if you tell me no, I'm going to find a new way. Drop can't for capable. Okay. Use your heart map, not your head, to navigate if something is true for you from now on. I want you to close your eyes and just say something out loud and go, is this true for me? Just doesn't feel right. Trust that. Okay. Your heart vibrates healing solutions. It does not vibrate painful solutions. So alternative, but oh, the way, the other thing is there's some really cool movies that I want you guys, if you guys ask me for movies all the time. The last time was Social Dilemma. If you haven't seen it, it's super good, but it's not about healing. Well, I guess it is. It's healing your technology, right? But the two healing modalities or movies that are really great. One I posted on Facebook is called Healing. The two movies I suggest, and Root Cause. Root Cause is hard to find because it tripped up the dental system and that upset them. And so they pulled it off Netflix. But if you Google it, you can find it and you can rent it for a couple, I think it's $3 or $4. Both of them will literally blow your mind. Okay. Heal is a couple years old, and Root Cause, I think, is a year or so old. But both of them are brilliant in breaking you out of that box of medicine. Okay. They're going to open your mind. So those of you who are on here, if you haven't seen them, I highly recommend them. They're kind of long. So I shouldn't say Heal is kind of long. Root Cause is only an hour. Okay. So tonight I'm going to leave you with a question. If you didn't have an institution that you were taught as they will take care of me. Okay. Oh, I'm getting Jamie just shared with me. Kiss. Oh, my glasses on. There's the words are so small. Kiss the Ground. Another one. I'm gonna go watch it. I haven't seen that one, Jamie. I'm gonna go watch it. How exciting. Now I have a new one. Exciting. Kiss the Ground is suggested also as a really good healing movie. Okay. So question for the night. If you didn't have the institution or box to lean on that you've leaned on, the institution, the doctor, the teacher, the education, the government, to tell you what to do, because they're just not available. Let's just say we wiped them off the map. They've crumbled and they're rebuilding their buildings or their structures or their environments. Okay. So they're coming back, but they're not now. But you still have access to this internet with all the wisdom and all the knowledge to find a new solution. Would you have looked for a new solution or an alternative to heal your mind, body, spirit if you didn't have to, if they didn't crumble? That's the question I want you all to ask yourself. Holy shit, if this didn't crumble, and if these institutions or boxes weren't crumbling as we speak, would I even look for a better, more positive, healing, joyful, communal, Aquarian energy aspect? You wouldn't. I guarantee you would. I do this every day, and I have to pull teeth just to get people to break those systems. It's hard work, but when it's all gone and you don't have a choice, we all have to do it together. It's kind of cool, right? So that's the question. Okay. Really quick, don't forget my new ebook is out, The Business of Love. So those of you still in, hanging out with all your family members or your partner or your relationship and you're struggling, it's a mini book. It's like 6 chapters, but it's really good stuff. And it's also on sale if you want if you put in business bundle. Just go onto my website and go to all tools. Sorry, I'm having all events. If you go to all events, you'll see it on there, and you can click on the ebook, and you have the bundle option to get 50% off, or just get the ebook. It's $4.99. It's really no big deal. It's really just covering my expenses. But I wanted you guys to have some way to heal your partnerships right now, and I actually love it. I've been using it lately, just to kind of keep myself centered. So that's out. That's one of my awesomeness. The reason I put it out, so you guys have something to do. So I'm going to tell you guys, go get the ebook, go get the couples toolbox, start working with your partner. And thank you, Jamie. It is exhausting. I know this is exhausting out there. And the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is I will not be here next week. Okay. We will not have a truth tribe. I'm thinking about giving you guys a recorded one. So if it pops up, it's just because I was like having a moment of inspiration, and I'll just record it and have my assistant post it for you next Monday. She'll post that it's canceled if it is. And if not, then there will be a recording to go to and watch. Again, I told you guys all I'm having some oral dental surgery on Thursday. So I would really love if you all send angels. Not my happy place. I told you guys all last week that is my absolute fear has come upon me. And I'm going to be a rock star. I know. And it's all going to be amazing. And I'm going to pull this off with flying colors, but it's happening. So I get to let my husband be the nurse, and he's kind of bossy, so we'll see how this goes. I don't like to follow rules very well. So this is the good news. So the good news is I'll be around and healing. And if you guys need anything, you know how to find me via message or text. I'm assuming there are no more questions. I've got a couple minutes here. So if you have any more questions, please throw them out. I'd love to know how you guys feel if you're able to understand the questioning of what's going on of why all this is crumbling. Does it make you feel better knowing that it has to crumble? Does it make you feel better that we need the energy on the earth to break some of these systems down so we can have a better earth? And which is why you keep hearing the phrase new earth. New earth is better, it's lighter, it's expanded, it's more beautiful, and it's more, get ready, loving and communal and supportive and pure and sweet and generous. It's not controlled and restrictive and controlled or constricting. Okay. Anybody in the chat, I'm on the Zoom. I'm going to give you guys one last option here. And it doesn't even have to be on this. It can be any question, because the last question was actually really good. Did I answer you, Wayne, properly on the good and evil? It looks good and evil in that perspective. It really does. It looks evil because there is a lot of evil out there. There's a lot of evil, and that's the dark density. And where I said there are people who look with labels and titles like they're doing a good job because they have the title of doctor, the title of attorney, the title of priest, mother, whoever. I'm just giving you titles that we would assume to be very protective and loving, and they're not. And they have gotten dark, and that doesn't make it wrong. It just means their choices are something that have to get left behind and implode on them so we can rise up. And there is no looking at them, condemning them, controlling them. It's just us becoming brighter and more beautiful in the entire system. And when you are shining so many people, the dark has no other option other than to just either come along with you or just go away and dissolve into nothingness, and it will not recover. And we have to let it. Okay, so when systems are dissolving, please stop judging and being angry at them for that. That is my biggest request. It's not to judge that which is crumbling and that which is not looking normal. Like, this just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. There's something not right about this. Don't judge it. It'll fall off in its own right time and space. Okay. All right. You guys got all your questions in. I love you all. I appreciate you all being here. If you have any questions or needs, you know how to find me. Brightest blessings, and I will see you again soon. Have a good night. Take care.